All her friends tell me she's got a halo. I think I knew that right from the get-go. But if there's something tucked beneath the floorboards, yeah, well, it's quite alright, it's quite alright, it's alright. She blew in like a warm winter gust, knocked me off of my dusty high horse. Had to check my heart out her front door. Yeah, and it's quite alright, it's quite alright, it's alright. Hey, hey, girl, you're alright, and you don't have to try, don't have to try. Hey, hey, you're a welcome surprise with the butterflies dancing on my insides. Oh my, let me feast my eyes on you, girl, 'cause you're alright. Tour behind the scenes, one-on-one-way ticket for a front row seat. And even if I spot every puppet string, yeah, well, it's quite alright, that's quite alright, it's alright. Hey, hey, girl, you're alright, and you don't have to try, don't have to try. Hey, hey, you're a welcome surprise with the butterflies dancing on my insides. Oh my, let me feast my eyes on you, girl, 'cause you're alright. All her friends tell me she's got a halo. I think I knew that right from the get-go. Yeah, and it's quite alright. Oh, it's quite alright. Yeah, it's quite alright. Yeah, it's quite alright. Hey, you're quite alright. Oh, you're quite alright, alright. Hey, hey, girl, you're alright, and you don't have to try, don't have to try. Hey, hey, you're a welcome surprise with the butterflies dancing on my insides. Oh my, let me feast my eyes on you, girl, 'cause you're alright. Oh my, hey girl, you're alright. Alright, alright, alright.
The audience may be seated. Who gives this woman to be married to this man?
Her mother and I proudly do.
Please join me at this time in bowing your heads for the invocation. Dear Lord, we invite you to be very present today and to pour out your blessing upon this couple, the families, and all who are gathered here. May we ultimately see you, the author and sustainer of love, in all that is seen, all that is heard, and in all that is done. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. On behalf of Giovanna and Cy and the Dreyer and Gallimore families, welcome to this wonderful occasion. It means so much that you have chosen to be present today and to join your hearts with theirs in this joyful wedding occasion. Beautiful. This is indeed a happy day. We finally get to celebrate with Gio and Cy. While this is not their official wedding due to the COVID virus, it is their official wedding celebration. Yes, the knot was officially tied in May in a small, beautiful service for immediate family only. And my, how time has flown by. And they're still smiling, just as we anticipated they would be. And what a beautiful spot here in this outdoor cathedral of myrtle trees. It's just amazing. Well, today, even this celebration service is smaller than originally planned due to our continuing circumstance, but today we add bridesmaids, we add groomsmen, more family, and some essential friends. Again, Sai and Gio, along with their families, welcome you to this very wonderful, wonderful day. Gio, what a beautiful bride you are.
Amen.
Sai, you're a lucky man, and you also are a dashing groom. This awaited for day is now finally happening. There is joy on everyone's faces. Weddings are one of the great experiences in life. For all of us, that's true. For pastors as well, one of the great experiences in ministry, especially if you know the couple. I've had a chance to see Sai grow up summer after summer coming to camp and his family for a long, long, long time. And what a joy to have both of you employed, working at camp, doing such excellent ministry. And so for me, it's an extra measure of joy beyond normal weddings to participate today. Thank you. So yes, your families have watched you grow, develop, and they have prayed as you have searched for that special someone. Out of the routine of ordinary life, the extraordinary has happened. You two met each other. You fell in love. Prayers have been answered. Oh yes, the romance is fun, but true love and building a life together is far, far more. It is now your desire, your pursuit to love each other for life and to build your own household of faith. This is what we celebrate with you today. It is a particular joy to witness the union of two people so delightfully suited for one another. This has been God's plan, as He who is love created love for mankind to have the capacity to love. You might recall that nearing the end of creation in the Garden of Eden, God said to Adam, "It is good." And then shortly thereafter, He said, "But it is not good for man to live alone."
Amen.
Now, God doesn't make mistakes. I think He put that pregnant pause in that creation story for a very important person. I think Adam needed to live alone momentarily to understand the gift that was going to be coming his way. Because then God made Eve, the joy of Adam's life, a partner, a helper, a companion. And so it is today that love story continues, God's love story. It's happening for Sai and Gio as they have found one another. But how did they find one another? What is their love story? How did they meet? How did they fall in love? Well, I've asked them a few questions, and I've asked them to answer it independently, so this is kind of fun. Let's see what they remember. What were the first recollections for Gio? Well, she remembers from the beginning that Sai was so friendly and nice, easy to talk to, and she says, "I wanted to get to know him more and more. I also loved his smile. It felt like we could talk forever." Sai says, "When I first saw her, I thought, she's cute. The next time I saw her, it was like a movie. She was standing there outside. The wind was blowing. And then I thought to myself, she is gorgeous. And then when I finally got to talk with her, I quickly realized that she was so sweet, almost so nice you can't actually believe it at first. But also she was underratedly funny as well." Gio says, "We met at my best friend Angela's birthday party. We were at Red Robin, and I was going to sit closer to the people I knew, but we were in the lobby waiting to be seated, and I went to the bathroom. When I came out, everyone had taken their seats. And so that only left one spot down at the end of the table. Cy says, I met Gio. He recalls this just a little differently. I met Gio while I was working registration at the guys' dormitory at Southern. I was an RA and came a couple weeks early before the school year starts. I had met Gio's best friend Angela a couple nights earlier at Waffle House with mutual friends. The day that I met Gio, Angela was coming to the dorm to say hi to someone and brought her new roommate, Gio, who was at Southern early for Smart Start. We were briefly introduced, then they left. It was a super short interaction, but I thought, as I mentioned, Gio's cute. And then it happened a couple days later. I was walking in front of the administration building and I saw a huge group of my friends. I asked, what's going on? And Angela was there and told me it was her birthday and that everyone was going to Red Robin to celebrate. And as she's telling me this, I see Gio standing there in the background with that breeze blowing in her hair and that floral dress waving in the breeze. And I was completely distracted from whatever Angela was even saying. Luckily, I did hear her inviting me to come along. No offense to Angela, but I went to the birthday party for one reason and one reason only, to try to talk to Gio. When we got to the Red Robin, we were there in that lobby waiting for them to set up that long table. And I happened to see a family I've known for a long time, and I wanted to go over and say hi, and as I talked with them, the group got seated. I wanted to wrap it up quickly, and I didn't want to be rude, but by the time we finished, everyone had been seated, and there was only one place to sit. It was down at the end of the table. Guess what? It was right across from Gio. The Lord works in mysterious ways. Gio said, when I got back to the dorm that evening, I got a friend request on Facebook, and he had sent a message carrying on the conversation right where we had left it. It was so natural. And from that point on, we talked all the time. Cy recalls about a week later, he said, I asked Gio if she and some of her friends might want to go to Superfly. It's a trampoline park in the area. And Gio told me, she said, I have laundry to do, and I'm not going to be able to come. Cy thinks to himself, laundry? Laundry? Really? He says, I knew at that moment Gio was blowing me off. I knew this must be the end. But then the next day, Gio asks if she saw my car at the Wired coffee shop. I told her it wasn't my car, but she conveniently mentioned how neither her nor her roommate had a car to get out about town. Naturally, I offered my chauffeur services. She responded by asking, would it work on Thursday? And I can assure you that whether Thursday worked for me or not, it was going to work for me. So Thursday, we got coffee. Friday, we got salsaritas, went downtown. Saturday, we hung out too. We also spent some time together on Sunday, and Monday, and Tuesday, and Wednesday. And soon enough, weeks had gone by, and we had spent just about every day together. Gio says, what attracted me to Cy was his warmth, his sense of humor, his love, his pursuit for God. Also, we had similar interests, and conversation just seemed to flow so easily. It was really easy to want to hang out every day. Our early dates were a lot of going around Collegedale and Chattanooga, and just hanging out and enjoying one another's company. One date in particular was out to eat, to salsaritas, then downtown Chattanooga, to get ice cream, to walk on the bridge. Another, we went to Barnes and Nobles and browsed for hours, showing each other favorite books and ultimately our favorite children's books when we were kids. What attracted Cy? He said, well, she's gorgeous, so that's one thing. For another, this is a theme, he says. She's the nicest person I have ever met. It was evident that she has a genuine Christian walk, actively seeking a relationship with God. This was a quality that I had been looking for. Gio said, I knew I had fallen in love when we were parked in a car having a conversation that led to God. And I told Sai that it was important to me that we make God the center of our relationship and that we seek after him together. I didn't know what he would say in response. It was a little bit quiet. Then he got out of the car. He got out of the car and he fist pumped and he yelled into the air, "Yes! Yes!" He then got back in the car and said, this is exactly what he's been wanting, exactly what he's been praying for. Sai says, well, as you can tell, I was pretty set on pursuing her from the first time I saw her. As I got to know her better, she just kept checking off all my boxes. Finally, one night we were at the Memorial Park in Collegedale. We had climbed up on top of an Army tank, and we were just talking. And then she said some things that just continued to check those last couple boxes. I just knew this girl was real important. So in all my romantic glory, I told her right then and there, 4 words. I said, I kind of like you. And there was kind of silence, just like right now. And then she responded with something along the lines of, oh, really? Or kinda? Or you do? And it was quiet for about 10 seconds. And again, Sai thought maybe he'd messed up. But then she reached out and she took his hand. No words, just connected. He said, I decided this was a very good thing. The things they value most about each other, Gio values Sai's infectious joy. He makes me laugh more than anyone ever. His love for God, how no matter what happens, he seeks God. His caring heart, how much he cares, how much he gives to his loved ones, just as we are witnessing. His wit, his intellect, his work ethic, his artistic mind, his creativeness, and just plain how he loves me, she says. Sai values Gio's selflessness, and actually, Sai wrote too much to include here today, but I'm going to share some of it. Her selflessness, constantly considering other feelings and others' needs first. Kind. I try to tell people that Gio is the nicest person I've ever met, and they always think I'm just using a line. Then they meet her. And what do you know? They always come back to me and tell me, holy smokes, she really is the nicest person. If only I had a nickel for every time that I was able to say I told you so. But she loves persistently. I don't know really a better way to say it than that. She just loves beyond. She loves people for who they are, not what they do. Sometimes I'm still trying to adjust to that, but Gio just has this amazing ability to empathize. Gio is happy. She's almost bouncing with joy. When she gets happy, her eyes light up like a cartoon, and she gets this giant grin. It's enough to make anyone's bad day a very good day. But it's her heart for God. This is above all other things. It's evident in the way she lives. It's what set her apart to me in the beginning, and it's been the glue during any of our hard times. Finally, Sai says, Gio gets hangry sometimes, but thankfully we both have very similar taste in food. Taco Bell is probably our meal of choice, or at least it was, until the meal of choice changed their menu on August 13, a date that will be one of the saddest in history. But after that, we both love Mexican, Indian, Mediterranean, Italian, pretty much anything spicy. It's great because I can solve her hangriness while enjoying my favorite foods. Before your vows here today, I'm just going to share a brief power passage. A brief power passage. And actually, while I'm just sharing a few verses, the whole chapter would be a great power chapter for your marriage or for any other marriage that's here today. 1 Corinthians 13. The power passage is starting in verse 4. And at the end of these few verses, there's a 3-word promise that I hope you'll always remember and always want to focus on. Here we go. Verse 4. Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself. It is not puffed up, does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil, does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in truth, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. And here's the 3 words. Love never fails. That's a promise. Love never fails. It endures all things. It never stops. Enduring things like the change of a Taco Bell menu might be challenging, but you're doing it together. You're enduring together. And I might add this, that God who is love never fails. And this God who we love has shared in Scripture that as he gets rid of sin, it's not going to be a real cakewalk. It's not going to be an easy road. And he tells us that because he loves us. But he's saying love will not fail. No matter what you have to face, love is not going to fail. So, as you focus on being the right partner for one another, being the thought of being that person, thinking of the other's needs just as much as you do your own, you're going to have an adventure that is so awesome. And today we cheer you on. We want to encourage you to pray for it and go for it as you already are. And as I mentioned, prayer, that's the next part of our service. At this time, we're going to have the family come together, the immediate family, right here front and center. And the father of the groom, Lyndon Gallimore, is going to have this special prayer.
Lord, we bow before you today, thanking you for answering prayers that began when Gio and Sai were little children. It's the dream of every parent, once you experience parenthood, to just envision that you, Lord, have prepared somebody for them. That your love would be growing in another heart, and that 2 hearts would find each other, and that love would explode and do something miraculous in the world. And Lord, we are just awed and thankful that Gio and Sai have found each other, and that they have experienced your love firsthand. And now their love for each other, as it grows through the ages, we just ask you to bless them, to send your Holy Spirit to fill their hearts, and may your love flow out of them to those around and impact the world for you. We ask this and thank you in Jesus' name.
And compassion for the one and whom you love and gave yourself for humanity. Increase my love. Help me to love with open arms like you do. A love that erases all the light and speaks the truth. Oh, that every look in my eyes would see you. Even in just the sky, would feel the Father's love. Oh, how He loves us. From the homeless to the famous and in between. Born us, you made us believe there's many of we're all your children. So help me to love with open arms like you do. A love that erases all the lies and sees the truth. Oh, and when they look in my eyes, they would see you. Even in just a smile, could feel the Father's love. Let all my life tell of who you are. The wonder of your never-ending love. Let all my life tell of who you are. You're wonderful and such a good Father. Let all my life tell of who you are. The wonderful, never-ending. Let all my life tell of who you are. Wonderful and such a good Father. You are wonderful and such a good Father. So help me to love with open arms like you do. A love that erases all the lines and sees the truth. Oh, that when they look in my eyes, they would see you. Even in just a smile, could feel the Father's love. Why? Where do I begin? First of all, how on earth have I managed to be so blessed with the amazing man that is standing before me? From the moment I met you, there has been something about you, this familiarity. I don't tend to open up to people quickly, but with you, right from our very first conversation, I felt this familiarity. Another word is that you could say that you felt like home. I love, the adventures we've gone on. From salsa dancing on the Chattanooga Bridge, to watching the stars, to the countless Taco Bell trips and Indian Mexican food we've devoured, to standing on an opera house in Oslo, Norway, to standing in the middle of the Colosseum in Rome, to loud belly laughing at old yearbook photos, concerts, etc. We've made so many lasting memories together. Something that sticks out in my mind is that memory from when we first started liking each other. We were in your parked car having a conversation that turned into one about God. I told you that it was important to me that God be in the center of the relationship and that I wanted him to lead us together, if that was his will. I remember wondering, what were you going to say? You got up out of the car and pumped your fist in the air and said, yes, yes. Then you told me that this is exactly what you had been hoping and praying forward to. Sai, you are an amazing man. Every part of my life is enhanced with you in it. Why is that? It's because Jesus lives in you. In the years that we've known each other, we've been through so many different things. We were blessed to go to the same school together. Then we did long distance for one long year full of so many incredible experiences. We both grew, and we both changed. One thing, however, did not change and did not waver, and that's my love for you. Through all the changes and distance, one thing was clear to me, and that is that I want to do this life with you as my partner, and to grow and change with you. Thank you for being my rock and for loving me so sweetly. I see Christ's love so easily in you. Thank you for all the care that you show me and the things that you say and do. I promise to never take that for granted. Most importantly, thank you for being you. You have been my best friend, my comforter, my home, and now you're my husband. My whole heart belongs to you. Through everything in life, you encourage me, you love me relentlessly, and you put my needs above your own. As your bride and best friend, I promise to do the same for you. Now and forever, you make it so easy to say I do. I love you so much.
Dear Giovanna, I don't know if I could ever fully explain to you what this moment means to me, but I'm going to try. As a little boy, I was busy playing with cars and trucks and planes and trains. I didn't think about my future wedding like little girls often do. But ever since I met you, I've thought about it a lot. I didn't know if I'd be able to convince you to marry me, but I did know that if I could get that Brazilian girl from Henrico County, right next to Goochland, Virginia, who has the gentleness and grace of no woman I've ever met, who loves people with persistence, and who radiates ridiculous amounts of beauty, to say I do, that it would be the best day of my life. And in this moment, I'm living the best day of my life. I've spent more time and energy in my life than I'd like to admit, trying to develop skills and talents and pursue awards and achievements just to try to gain the respect and acceptance and love of those around me. And to be honest, it's exhausting. But with you, for the first time, I felt like I could truly rest because I didn't have to earn it anymore. You didn't care about what I could do and what I have done. You just loved me. And that love has given me a sense of rest that I have longed for. And that was the greatest gift you could have ever given me. Standing here today, I promise to love you in a way that gives you the same rest you've given me, where you can feel safe and protected, provided for, and at peace. I promise to love you voraciously and to date you with passion. I promise to make sure you're filled with coffee, chocolate, and Mexican food. I promise to be a constant support, a reliable shoulder, a confidant, and a spiritual anchor. I promise to respect you, protect you, and be your lifelong teammate. If I have to grow old, I'm glad I'll be doing it with you. I can't wait to have a family with you, and I'm so ready to be your husband. I love you, Gio. Thank you for choosing me.
And now we're going to take a moment to exchange the rings, which are a symbol of these vows and expressions of love that we've witnessed here today. And now, in accordance with the laws of the land and the Word of God, I now publicly pronounce you husband and wife. And now the moment we've been waiting for, the kiss. And now it is a privilege to introduce publicly, once again publicly, for the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Cy Gallimore.
A very warm welcome to the grandmother of the bride, Jenny Beckendorf, escorted by Lucas Leitao. And now the parents of the bride, a warm welcome for Don Dreyer and Joyce Dreyer. And an equally warm welcome for the parents of the groom, it's Lyndon and Yvonne Gallimore. All right, guys, we're going to bring in this wedding party and have some fun with them. First up, please welcome Isabella and Christy Nardi, escorted by Cody Fedorowski. Let me hear it for Cassia Owen and Austin Owen. Escorted by our flower girls, Jemmy Lynn and Aaliyah Owen. Keep it going for Alicia and Jotham Gallimore. Let me hear it for Becky Arboleda and Nick Morrison. And here comes Renata Menezes and Amanda Leitao, escorted by Griffin Prussia. Put your hands together for Angela Fears and Julio Hernandez. Feel so close to you right now. Next up, it's Abby Long and Judson Prussia. Here comes Madeline Ringering and Kyler Stock. All right, guys, we're bringing in the VIPs of the wedding party. It's our maid of honor, Jennifer Ludi, and our best men, Jordan Cherney and Ian Svensson. If I could ask you all to please stand. All right, everybody, they're right outside that door. It's the moment we've all been waiting for. Please give a warm welcome for the first time ever as husband and wife, Mr. and Mrs. Cy and Giovanna Gallimore. Cy and Giovanna have chosen a beautiful song for their first dance. This is Let's Make It Last.
Except for the bump on my head, I'm feeling alright. Dancing to our favorite tune. I pulled you in way too soon. Bang went the drums, we went boom. Yeah. Running through just stare. Kids will all say it's not fair, the way that we love, the way that we laugh. It's something worth seeing, so let's make it last. Let's make it last. Come some sunny day, we'll call in sick to our jobs. What will we say? She's coming down with the flu. I think that I'm catching it too. This is what love makes you do, the way that we love, the way that we laugh. It's something worth seeing, so let's make it last. The way that we love, the way that we laugh. It's something worth seeing, yeah. So let's make it last. Live out each moment. They go by so fast.
Have you ever seen a more beautiful couple? That's Cy and Giovanna out there for their first dance together, everybody. Wedding party, you guys did fantastic. You can go ahead and find your seats. We appreciate it very much.
Shining star, you're
day in my life was you. There were bedtime songs and nursery rhymes. For good night prayers, there was always time. You taught me to live by the rules. Made sure I was listening. You disciplined my whole life through. The dread touch was all I knew. And Mom, it's late in my life.
That's Yvonne and her big boy out there, everybody. One more round of applause.
First of all, congratulations. I'm so over the moon for you guys and so happy to be part of your day. Gio, I remember when you were born, I was so excited to have a little sister and take care of you. You were the cutest, happiest baby, but always a little wild, which was always fun. Kept us on our toes. We always had to keep an eye on you because you like to go off on little adventures. I was determined to be your mini mom and take care of you. I don't know how Mom trusted me because I was a toddler basically, but I was determined to carry you around and just dress you and play with you, and you were the cutest. Over the years, you've grown to be the most beautiful woman with the kindest heart, and sweetest soul. You always see the best in people, which has been a theme today. And you know how to put a smile on everyone's face. And Sai is right. You have the best funny, quirky humor that always catches everyone by surprise. You are the best sister, and I know you'll be an amazing wife and partner. Sai is a lucky guy. Sai, I remember my sister telling me about you when you two started dating and how you would bring her chocolate or just because gifts. And that was super thoughtful, and she just absolutely loved that. I know she really appreciated it, and I was like, this guy seems pretty cool. From what she told me about you, I felt like you two were best friends and could have fun together and talk about anything, which is so important in a relationship. When you guys came to visit me and Nico in Memphis, and we officially met for the first time, I remember thinking how you two brought out each other's goofy side and funny sense of humor, which is super important. But even more importantly, watching you guys, I knew just by the way that you looked at her that this is the real deal. I could see by your interactions that you loved her and you would take really good care of her, and it just made me really happy to see you two together and complement each other so well. It makes me even happier to see you two together today. You two bring out such the best in each other, and you know how to have fun. Always remember to keep that going and to have lots of Taco Bell together, despite the recent changes. I'm so happy to have a new brother, Sai, and I'm so happy to see Gio so happy. I love you guys. Congrats.
So I've known Sai for about 20 years, which I can say confidently is my longest standing friendship. He really knows how to have fun, but will make sure the fun doesn't get out of hand. I'm someone who does something and thinks about the consequences later, and Sai is someone who thinks about every consequence that can possibly happen before he does it. This trait of his has possibly saved my butt a couple of times throughout our friendship. As some of you may know, Sai, Jordan, and I were roommates. In this year, I had the pleasure of being part of an extremely exclusive fraternity called the Omega 3s. We threw a ton of raging parties with the typical party activities: apple juice pong, vespers, and painting parties. For those of you who are lost, Sai, Jordan, and I thought it would be a fun idea to create our own fraternity, and the only name we could think of was Omega 3s. Sai, your friendship means a lot to me, and it's so amazing watching you take this huge step in your life with Gio. You have chosen a stellar person to spend the rest of your life with. I wish you guys a happy marriage.
You guys having fun tonight? Yeah, it's been a good night. It's been a good evening. You guys are in exclusive club territory here because not many people can say they've been married twice in the same year, let alone to the same person. So that's pretty cool. And Gio, you got a pretty sweet deal now because you get 2 anniversary gifts each year, I think. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. But I've known Sai for probably about 5 years now, and Gio a little less. I had the privilege of working with Gio at summer camp. We taught swim lessons, and we had a really good time. And it's true, she's seriously one of the nicest people I've ever met. Such an awesome person. So I'm glad to know you, Gio. And yeah, me and Sai, we roomed together with Ian. Sai's one of my traveling buddies, and we just have made so many fun memories and had some really good times, really good talks. Sai's got tons of great characteristics, and I'm going to tell a short story. I got 2 stories tonight, so bear with me, folks. If I'm going too long, just say, sit down, Jordan, and I'll sit down. But the first story has to do with Sai. Whenever there's like a stressful situation and you're kind of on edge, Sai has a way of just like calming things down and you feel like you're gonna be okay. So a year ago, me and Sai went to Europe on a 10-day backpacking trip. We saw 5 countries. We were blinking and we were in another country. We were going so fast, but it was so much fun. And we were in Austria, and there wasn't a whole lot to do in Austria, so we were just in our Airbnb, and we're like, man, we haven't really made a great memory here yet. And so I was talking to my mom in the bathroom, and Sai was talking, I think it was Gio, in the living room, and I'm leaning up against this sink. There's this huge sink structure cabinet thing against the wall. That's off the ground, and so I'm leaning on it, and I shift my body weight just ever so slightly, and this entire like 75-pound like cabinet sink structure falls off the wall in our Airbnb, and I'm like, Sai! I'm like, I gotta go, Mom. And I'm like holding the sink, and Sai comes running. He's like, what'd you do? I'm like, I don't know. And so finally we set it down, and I'm like freaking out on the inside. I don't know if like I look like I was freaking out, but I'm like, this is terrible. Like the guy's gonna be super upset who we're renting from. And the guy comes the next day, and like my mind just goes blank. I don't know what to say to him. I'm like, this is gonna be terrible. And so I just calmly like handles the whole thing, talks to the guy, and I did have to pay like €300, but just Sai being there just calmed the whole situation down, and he has that ability to do that, just make you feel at peace when you're with Sai. Story number 2. About a year ago, or when we graduated a year ago, I was asked to do the welcome for our friend and family Vesper, like everybody coming in from out of town for all the graduates. And Sai bet me $10 that I wouldn't say his name in my welcome speech in front of hundreds of people and people watching online. I was like, yeah, this is going to be super easy, dude. And so I figured out I was going to slide his name into the thank yous. So I get up there. I'm like, welcome, everybody. So glad y'all are here. Thank you to our family, our teachers, our parents, Sai Gallimore, just everybody who's helped us along the way on behalf of the class of 2020. And it was the easiest $10 I've ever made in my life. But I wanted you to know, man, that I really did mean that thank you. You really made these just all the years I've known you, just so much fun. And I just really value our friendship and look up to you in a lot of ways. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate Gio, and may God bless y'all's marriage, and to Sai and Gio.
This must be love. These two, for the past several years and beyond, have found every excuse they can come up with to be together. It was easier before: airfare, cars, walking and running to each other. Now that they are one, obviously, they are meant to be. And the day has come where they no longer are two, but they are one. Remember the hymn that starts with all things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small? the Lord God who made them all. Look around you, Cy and Jill. You're surrounded by beautiful friends and family. And we thank and we're honored, and it's a privilege to be part of this united family now. We love you and your family. You're surrounded by beautiful people with beautiful hearts. And you, I think, brought us together. Cy and Jill, look around you. There's also a hymn called All Things Wise and Wonderful. That's the next line. The Lord God made them all. Well, in regard to all things wise and wonderful, Jill once confided in me that she was attracted to wise men. And in your case, Cy, she found one. You're very wise. Wise to choose this wonderful woman, and wise in many ways. Huh. Speaking of choices, Giovanna and Jennifer, I'm so proud of all the wonderful choices you have made in life. Choosing to finish college, to, graduate, to marry such wonderful young men. And I'm so proud of my son-in-laws, my only two sons. Nico, Cy, welcome to the family. Gio, I'm so proud of you. When you graduated from high school and you received the Caring Hearts Award, there wasn't a father in the building that was more proud. "18 and a half years ago, when I married your mother, an incredible journey began for me. I was 50 then, and I had never had children. I didn't know what I was missing out on. It's an amazing journey that Jesus had established for me, and what a joy to raise such wonderful, special, talented, loving, caring, amazing young ladies like these two daughters of mine. Do you remember the song, My God's Really a Big God? Do you believe in answered prayer? Joyce told me, are you praying about the weather? Forecast was, I think, on Wednesday, 60% chance of rain on Sunday. Well, so I prayed before I went to bed. I said, Lord, you love weddings. Your first miracle was to turn water to wine. And you love weddings. And I know that everything is possible for you to stop the wind and the waves. It's not hard for you, Lord. Would you please blow this storm out of here? Because it was going to rain 70% on Thursday, and Sunday was showing 50, 60%. Well, the next morning, I cut my dry grass in the 70% chance of rain, and the sun came out. Yesterday morning, we had a little sprinkler system from the sky, cooled it down a little bit. I had a wonderful day. But today, who ever heard of it? The forecast from like 10 till this evening was 0%. Did you see that sky today? The Lord is rejoicing today with us and with you, Cy and Giovanna. Gio and Jennifer, when I look back on the last 18 and a half years of having the privilege of raising you, I just remember the good things. Jennifer and Gio, you are the sweetest young ladies I've ever known. You had an excellent role model. Joyce, you're the sweetest woman I've ever met. Her Brazilian friends called her Snow White. She's the one who goes into the dark forest and the birds start singing and all of the animals follow her through the forest. So no wonder I have these sweet daughters. It's very significant that the two of you just got married, where 10-year-old Thomas Jefferson's childhood home was the Tuckahoe. I wonder what he was thinking when he was 13 at the Tuckahoe. Do you think one person can make a difference in this world? He said his greatest accomplishment was the separation of church and state. Had he not accomplished that, we'd all be one religion, probably, and had tyranny. It's very significant. Also, the name King Josiah is significant. This 8-year-old boy king changed his whole kingdom. I like to teach in primary class. This is my favorite class, this particular subject, I think. And I put dominoes all over the room. And I talk about Josiah, who, when he was, I believe, 13, you might correct me, found the law and taught his kingdom to keep it. And I said, do you think one can change the world? And I tip the dominoes and they fall all around the room. And you see in these 7 to 9-year-old children, I got it, I understand it. We can make a difference. So, I wonder again, I don't have the phone here. I didn't grow up with a cell phone. I'm always missing it. Gio and Sai, my aspirations for the two of you are not really too high, are they? I just look forward to the future now as you just go and change the world. Like Thomas Jefferson, the 13-year-old boy, made a difference in the whole world. And as Josiah King changed his kingdom, I'm not expecting much, am I? Jesus is never going to fail you. I'll finish with Gio. Will you allow me just once more to remind you of when you were small? Okay, when I met you, you were 3, and when I married your mom, you were 5. So you were about 5 or 6. And I would come home from work in the evening every day, and you would jump down the stairs knowing that I would always catch you. Will you and Sai remember this, that Jesus is always there when you need him, especially when you need him. And if you jump into his arms, he will always catch you. Love you. May God bless your marriage, and may you change the world with your love, your contagious love.
Gil, I don't have prepared my paper. I was a little busy. I don't know, it is not here, but I want to speak from my heart. I just want to say that for many, many years, Jennifer prayed for a sister, and I know you came, and you're my best surprise that I ever had. Since you came, our life is so special, and I always joke that you came with the guarantee that life never will be boring. And there's many times I almost lost you, and maybe be too protective of you, right, Sai? So I can tell. I know I was very strict, and that there's many times that she got lost, or she almost fell from the second floor, or there's so many things that made me be very, very protective. But what can I say, that you were always a joy in our life, and that I treasure every moment we did together, the shopping, the praying. She loves to do, like every time she comes home, she does worship with me in the morning. I miss that so much. I know that as every mother here, we pray so much that God will send someone that will bring our kids close to Him. And I pray so much, and I was always thinking, Lord, please send someone that not take my daughter from your way. And I know she had the same prayer. And when she found you, she told me that Mom, I want to find someone that will pray with me every day. Mom, Sai prays with me every day on the phone. And we always pray together, we go to church together. I can see Jesus, and he brings me close to Jesus. So I think this was touching my heart about you, that you, how happy you make her, how close to God you make her. And she's the most, and Jennifer, the most precious treasure that a mother can have is that their kids God gave to us, and so precious. And I feel so honored today to know that you are going to take care of my treasure. And I just say that you are wonderful daughter, that I love you. And Sai, you are my son now too.
Amen.
And we love you, and we wish you all the happiness in the world. I know they already are, but may God continue to bless you. And you are just bringing so much joy to us. Maybe that may this celebration with all the friends, just the beginning of a new life and a bigger family and a new son, a new daughter for them. We love you, and thank you so much for sharing those moments with us. And please come, always visit us. Don't leave us here, okay? Always come. We love you.
Amen.
Okay, I just found out I was doing a toast a few minutes ago, so I don't have it prepared, but I, too, just will speak somewhat from my heart. Sai was a surprise, and he came 5 years after Cassia, and we had just given away all the baby stuff to the school for a sale, and we had gone to a family reunion in Jamaica, and I was just eating fish like crazy, and I don't normally eat that much fish. And Lyndon was preparing to do a church service the next day, and before I knew it, I'd eaten all of his food also, and I said, oh, I better call and order some more food for him. And then I was nauseated, and these little Jamaican ladies were giving me this drink called ginger beer that's supposed to, help calm the nausea. And when I got home, I found out that I was expecting Sai. And I had 2 girls, and having a son is so special. And it's just different. And I'm not a dancer, so that dance made me nervous, but Sai and Gio and her family wanted us to do that. And that song that he chose, the words just got to me, because Sai, you're such a thoughtful person with your words, and the things you were saying to me were just so touching. And I have just loved watching you grow up. You have just loved so many different things, building with Legos and any kind of sports. And you knew the statistics from every sports player on football teams and basketball teams, and it's just kind of crazy. And then to see you get kind of past that stage, and when you found Giovanna, as a parent, that's what you just want, for your children to find this person that completes them and makes them so happy. And that's what I see in the 2 of you. We love Giovanna. Yes, she does have the sweetest heart and such a giving person. And she's our daughter. We love her, and we're happy. And I don't know, 9 grandchildren from just the 2 of you based on that Norwegian Kransekake. I'm pretty impressive. So anyway, I wish you both just a beautiful life together, and I'm just so proud to have you both in my life.
The man who was responsible for turning around Fletcher Academy, and he was the principal there for many years and then chairman of the board, he spoke at a graduation, and he said to the kids, his advice for graduates from high school: live off your parents as long as you can. Travel, do mission trips, go to school abroad, do all of these things, because you'll never have another opportunity like you have today. And Cy must have been listening because he went on student missions. He went to school in Europe, and he did college in 5 years, which is what this guy said, because he took a year out. And he has this sense of adventure that keeps everything fresh, and he makes friends everywhere, and he has a way of connecting with people that is awesome. And so it's been beautiful to watch him grow and expand and minister and people to respond in an amazing way. We met Gio, and we're struck. Everything that's been said, she is the sweetest person, period. And if you put sweetness in the dictionary, her picture is right there. And you know, what's so cool about Gio, here's Gio, and you would think, wow, well, she's just a sweet person. But man, she has a sense of adventure. This lady went on a mission trip to Mexico with people she didn't know to preach a series about Jesus and bring people to Christ. That's, I mean, for one person to do that, that blew my mind. And so she has this sense of adventure, and she also went to Europe, and she's ministered at camp and done all kinds of things. And it's just so awesome to see all the ways that God has dovetailed them to build them into something really, the oneness that is really beautiful. And so like Don said, we're anxious to see what God does. You guys, just let him lead and guide in your lives, and you will find the most satisfying and adventure-filled life that you can imagine. Cheers.
Cy and Gio, I love you both to death. I prayed for a little brother, so I'm taking credit kind of for that one. Prayed for many years. He is the best of the three of us. We adore him. Cassie and I both mothered him. But when he found Gio and we first met, we actually met at Red Robin one night, I knew he was smitten, and this was his woman. If she would have him, and we'd hung out several times. She came to Greenville, and I actually told her, I said, if you're going to break his heart, do it fast, because he loves you. Anyway, I'm so happy for you both. You're the perfect couple.
I met Cy at Fletcher, so it's been a while since I've known Cy. We were always friends at Fletcher, but it really wasn't until we went abroad to France, and we were roommates. And I had the blast. Like, it was the best thing, room with Cy. We would go out to town, try and learn French. We would watch a series of Netflix. But it wasn't until Cy, he got chicken pox. So I had already had it when I was a kid, so I was okay. So I don't want to leave him. The school was like, you can, go to a different room if you want. But I was like, no, I feel bad for Cy, so I'm gonna stay. So I brought him his food. I would bring him his homework and keep him up to date. I was going outside. So after that, we really created a bond, and Cy has been a really good friend. I can always talk to him. And I remember when he first had met Gio and he was telling me about her, and everything he said is everything Gio is. I mean, she is, I'll repeat it again, she is the sweetest person ever. She's so nice. And she just compliments Cy so well. And I've seen them together, and I've enjoyed their friendship, and I wish them the best for many, many years. Congrats.
I know you guys probably don't want to hear another speech, so bear with me, and my phone might die, so. I met Gio at her Aunt Lillian's house, that's Gio Lillian right there, in Massachusetts years ago, during a weekend where she was visiting her aunt from Virginia. It was a time where we still played with Barbies, wore shimmering mermaid pajamas, and didn't have a care in the world other than which Ken Barbie doll Barbie would go on a date with that day. That weekend flew by and is for the most part a blur. But little did I know what kind of person you would become to me, Gio. throughout the years when we reconnected at SAU. Woo woo. Up until that point, I hadn't really truly experienced true friendship, a friendship that is real and authentic, a friendship where you can completely be yourself and get along so well with someone to the point where you feel like they're a sister to you. God knew I needed a Brazilian friend to speak mixed Portuguese and English with. My apologies to any non-Portuguese speaking friends who have been around us. I feel bad for you guys. Gio and I really reconnected once we became roommates in college. We both admitted later on that that first night we were moving into our dorm room, we were a bit nervous. As some of you may know, college roommates are like a box of chocolates. You sometimes don't exactly know what you're getting yourself into. Moments after we sat on the carpeted floors and began to unpack our things, though, I knew that all those nerves were for nothing and that it was the beginning of a rare friendship that you don't always get to stumble upon in life. From many late nights laughing so hard at really questionable things, I won't go into that, to crying together while eating pumpkin bread pudding at Carava's Italian Grill. Our waiter probably thought we were emotionally unstable. God knew I needed a girlfriend like you, a person who'd always be down to go explore, spend way too much money on unnecessary things in college, get Starbucks, and to truly be there for me through life's ups and downs. It's finally here, Gio, your wedding day. It seems like a lot of this beautiful day and weekend was planned during our Pinterest wedding board sessions, on those restful Saturday afternoons, on our questionably decorated twin-sized dorm beds, after church and having eaten a little too much food at the campus cafe. I am so blessed to call you my best friend, G. You're an amazing person filled with so much care, love, and empathy for every single person you come into contact with, and it's inspiring. Anyone who knows Gio knows she's one of the most calmest and most patient people probably on this planet. She's really taught me a lot. Sai, you're also an amazing human. I can truly say that I have seen your care and love for Gio throughout these years, even dating back to that warm Saturday afternoon we first met and were building a huge puzzle with friends around a table at your then Southern Village apartment. You were awesome then, and as you are now. I am so happy you guys found each other. You complement each other so well, and I think it's safe to say that it's a match made in heaven. I am wishing you both the happiest years of your life, filled with endless love, priceless memories, blessings, and of course, Taco Bell. Sai and Gio, your love is inspiring and is an example of a Christ-centered relationship, one that we all strive to have one day if we don't already have one. So cheers and have the best life ever.
To get a chance to talk about you too. I met Sai when we were in France together. I'm gonna hop on that chickenpox train with Julio. If you wanna get to know somebody really well, get them sick and then take care of them. Because we got to travel a lot, but it wasn't until Sai got super sick that you just care for somebody and you get the chance to take care of them, and it was oddly inspiring seeing you so miserable. But I mean, you hung in there. They didn't even have a bathtub for you or anything, man. But it was crazy what you went through and just your spirit and your courage through that time. And everything that went on behind the scenes. I mean, Julio was your main caretaker, but I got you Thanksgiving dinner. And you didn't eat it because you couldn't. But yeah, so when you did tell me, it was like first day meeting you in France. We were in the laundry room. You walked by. I was like, hey, you want to be my friend? And then I don't remember at what point, but I saw a picture of Gio on the wall, and you were like, yeah, that's my girl. And I was like, wow, she's really pretty. And you were like, yeah, she's like the sweetest person ever. I was like, okay, dude. But no, she really is like the sweetest person ever. And you said, dude, like I literally have to like watch out for her because she'll get herself into trouble being so nice to people that they'll just like keep like asking her to do stuff, and you gotta like step in for her. And so like, I love that was true, and you weren't just like trying to talk her up, you were describing her. And that's an amazing thing, that the things that you say about your loved one isn't just, fake. It's great. But yeah, I also wanted to say that since then, the times that we've had just being friends and hanging out, getting to reconnect after France and at Southern, chilling on the weekends, during the week, whenever it was possible, getting to see both of you. You guys have been an inspiration as friends. I look up to you in many ways, and I brag about you to other friends who don't even know you because you guys set such an example that you're just special as individuals, but also now as a couple. And it's already been said, but now you're one. And I'm excited to continue to tell people about this great couple that I'm friends with and that is a light for others. So I love you both. Congratulations. Have a great life.
Ladies, are you ready? All right, Gio, 1, 2, 3.
I see the shadows on my face. People have told me I don't look the same. Maybe I lost weight. I'm playing hooky with the best of the best. Put my heart on my chest so that you can see it too. I'm walking the long.
All right, gentlemen, all the single guys in the house, I need you to head out there and meet Cy on the dance floor.
Dress tangles my neck. How do I live the death of a bachelor? Letting the water fall. The death of a bachelor.
Cy, you know who you're aiming at? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Cy and Giovanna, tell us which one of you is the clumsiest. All right, doing well so far. And between the two of you, who is more likely to cry in a movie? Straight up. 2 for 2 so far, guys. Which one of you is more likely to be late for something? They know. Who is gonna be the biggest bed hog? And between the two of you, who is the first to roll out of bed in the morning? Cy. So we got some people who know the answers over here. All right. Who's the bigger baby when they're sick? No cheating. Oh, that's adorable. Okay. Who, and this one's just for fun now, everybody, right? Just for fun. Between the two of you, who has the nuttier family? A very diplomatic answer from Giovanna there. So, Giovanna, tell me, who is more likely to spend money frivolously? Between the two of you, who is most likely to spend time on social media? They know. Who's more likely to sing in the shower? Oh. And who is more likely to start a kitchen fire? Careful, son. All right, it was diplomatic. All right, between the two of you, let us know who is better at keeping secrets. Oh. And who is the more creative between the two of you? Sai, Giovanna, what we want to know now is, who has the hottest temper? We're all waiting on you. That's okay, I got a better one. When you two disagree on something, who has to have the last word? Sai says he does. And who is always right? Sai, who's always right? Sai, I'm setting them up for you, buddy. Here you go. Who's always right? All right, so we're going to turn the heat up just a little bit. Tell me, who had a crush on the other one first? She knows. Who made the first move? Sai did. Who said I love you first? Oh my gosh, Sai, you just knew day one, right? Who wants to have kids first? That's where you put both of them up. Both of them. There you go. Who makes you a better person? There you go. And who can you not wait to spend the rest of your life with? That's the Shuli Leg game, everybody. Give these two a round of applause for being great sports. So if you guys can see this from here, there's a whole bunch of rings there. So what we need you to do is go ahead and just grab the top of that cake and lift straight up.
Just the top ring.
Just the top.
Not just the one.
All right. So now what we need you to do is count those rings. 9 rings. According to Norwegian wedding tradition, these two will have 9 children. That's right, everybody.
I believe in memories, they look so pretty when I sleep, day and night. And when I wake up, you look so pretty, sleeping next to me. But there's combination of words I could say, but I will still tell you one thing, we're better together.
Well, next guy.
When your legs don't work like they used to before, and I can't sweep you off of your feet, will your mouth still remember the taste of my love? Will your eyes still smile from your cheeks? Darling, I will be loving you till we're 70. And baby, my heart could still fall as hard at 23. And I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe just the touch of a hand. Well, me, I fall in love with you every single day. And I just wanna tell you I am. So honey, now take me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Place your head on my beating heart. I'm thinking out loud, maybe we found love right where we are. When my hair's all but gone and my memory fades, and the crowds don't remember my name, when my hands don't play the strings the same way, I know you will still love me the same. 'Cause honey, your soul could never grow old. It's keep on making the same mistakes, hoping that you'll understand. But baby, now take me into your loving arms, kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Oh darling, place your head on my beating heart. I'm thinking out loud that maybe we found love right where we are. Or maybe we found love right where we are. And we found love right where we are.
Friends and family, let me hear you make some noise for Cy and Giovanna.
Go around the back side. Go around the back. Go around the back. Go around the back. Go around the back. Yeah. There you go. Oh, it doesn't work. Sad. Safety first, safety first. Safety first. Good job.